Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 56 of the Showbound podcast. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, here alongside Ethan Cardwell. Cards, what's going on? You're having some car trouble today or what?
Yeah, a bit of a gong show actually. So, just wake up, go to morning skate like normal, workout, car's fine and everything, and then you got the old Jeep, right? So, got a little bit of troubles here and there. I've gotten a few new parts over its lifetime. It's a 2013 or 2012 Jeep Wrangler, so it's been a bit of a battle, but you know what? It's a beauty of a car. So, I'm going to have to ride it out, but it looks like I need a new starter. So then I get to the skate and ready to go home at the end of the day, 4:00. It's almost dark out. Just want to get home, get out of the cold. And sure enough, you know what? The starter won't fire up. So car is stuck at the Saddle-On Arena for the night, and we'll figure it out from there tomorrow. I got to get my mom's help and figure out a body shop. I'm not that advanced yet. I can't figure that stuff out on my own.
Did you try to jump it?
Yeah, we tried to jump it. Punnett was going under the car. He's like a mechanic, so he was playing around with it. Yeah, northern guy. He got all dirty even for it. I was like, there's no way I'd be doing that. But you know what? To each their own. I'm just grateful for the help, and he's helping me out with CAA tomorrow too. So looking forward to it. Cheers, punter.
Yeah. When's your break? When are you back home?
We get off on the 18th, right? So we have a 3-3 this weekend. Actually, we play Sudbury at home. So it's their first game actually off COVID too.
Okay.
So I don't know. You saw last year though, like some of the teams who came out of protocol were kind of buzzing, like they had energy and stuff. Like hopefully Sudbury's the same way. They come out with jump. Can't wait for that game. So gonna play JT. That's actually another thing we should probably talk about on the pod. It's kind of unfortunate what happened to him. I don't know if you heard yet. You did, right?
I don't know anything other than that he got COVID. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah. So he had COVID, right? And he like got selected for the World Junior Camp, eh?
Oh yeah, about the World Jays. Yeah, I heard about that. Well, yeah. Keep going for the listeners who haven't.
Yeah. So two-time guest of the podcast, Jack Thompson, signed by the Tampa Bay Lightning and a World Junior invitee this year. Kind of got screwed over by I think the length of the quarantine and stuff like that, and it just didn't work. Kind of terrible timing with how it went down and everything, and then it just wasn't. Things didn't fall into place, and he had to quarantine when they had to be at camp and stuff like that. So for all those reasons, he is kind of kept out of World Junior selection camp, and I think he had a great chance of making the team too. Obviously, Team Canada has a lot of left-handed D, I might say. Yeah. So I think we're going to talk about it later on in the episode of the World Juniors, but kind of just disappointment there. Obviously, you can't control COVID or anything like that, but that's a tough fall for him. I feel bad for him, but you know what? I think it'll help him. He'll just tear up the OHL instead.
I feel for him hard, man. That's brutal. When we had him on 50th episode, we were talking about it, saying he has a really, really good chance of making it, and that's crushing, man, for him. I feel for him a lot. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Now,
actually, but back to when I'm off. Yeah. So then we play in Kingston on Friday, and Kingston just shut down their restaurants and stuff too. So who knows what we'll see there? Like, probably going to be like quarantined in our room in the hotel, or actually, no, we're staying in Ottawa, but, I'll be interested to see if they'll still have fans at the games and stuff. If they can't go to restaurants, I don't know like what they'll be able to do with hockey arenas and stuff like that. So we'll have to see on that, and then Ottawa the following day. And then from there, it's our break, and we're off all the way till Boxing Day. So it's kind of nice.
So when do you return back? The 27th?
Boxing Day, 26th.
That's when you go back?
Yeah, we have to go. We play on the 28th, so I'm assuming we'll practice at night on the 26th, and then full day 27th, and then get back into it.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say going back to the car stuff. I'm taking my car in to, I don't want to say where it is, no free ads, but to the place in Whitby where I go on the 27th. And if you were around there, I was gonna say we maybe go rip the Royal Oak or something. But
yeah, well, maybe we'll see how maybe you'll have to text Marty and see how generous he wants to be with our break, and then we can make that possible.
So Marty 10th in all time OHL wins. You see that?
Yeah, we did. We got him, gave him the puck after the game and stuff. So that's pretty cool, man. I didn't even realize he was like that, like up there on that list and stuff. And then all out of nowhere, like the day before the game, like our social media guy came up to me and Allison. He's like, "Hey, by the way, like after the game, if you guys want to keep the puck, like he's 10th all time." And I was looking at the list too. It looks like if we can get a few more wins for him this year, he'll move up to 9th before the end of the season, and then he got some more years to log before you go up to 8. But no, I'm happy for him. Obviously, he's a great coach, so well deserving.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Now, let's explain what's going on with the pod this week. We got no guests. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, I can explain. I mean, we're gonna get more into like all the COVID and stuff going on in the NHL right now, so not going to disclose who our guest was this week, but it's kind of going through the COVID protocols and stuff like that. So wasn't able to kind of figure out the timing for this week and the episode and stuff. And I know we have my good buddy and teammate here in Barry coming on, I think, for next week's episode, and we'll hear from him live from Red Deer in the World Junior bubble that he'll be on. But
are you gonna drop the name or no?
Yeah, Oscar Olsen.
Yeah,
we'll get him
fans hanging.
Yeah, so we got the Swede, so he's doing his English lessons, making sure he's all sharp for the pod. But yeah, that's our situation this week. So you know what, we're just gonna sit on here and kind of talk about hockey, talk about what's going on in life, and just see how this one goes. We'll kind of get feedback from the fans this week and kind of understand what you guys want to hear. Like, if you don't mind these episodes, maybe we can mix them in more, you know?
Yeah, I'm excited at the chance to just sit and talk for like 45 an hour, however long, and hopefully the listeners like it. But yeah, we're definitely open to feedback, good and bad. Now, I was texting you today, Cards, that I had an idea, and it works out because now we'll do it for this episode. But it was something I want to do. Well, I want to talk to you about it to do it for every episode. Now, just a little behind the scenes for the listeners. I was gonna call Cardsy and talk about this with him, not on the podcast, but we're letting it all out there on the pod this week. So the idea is headlines is essentially what it is. I just pick a couple of headlines, or you pick a couple of headlines, and we're not like breaking news or doing anything like that, but we just pick some hockey headlines or whatever's going on in the world, maybe like 5 or 6 a week, and we just talk about that, whatever it is, whatever headline we want. Like, what do you think about that? And I have a couple for this episode.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, I saw the ones you picked out in the outline for this one. So you know what, I like that idea a lot, and I think it's good for at the start of our episodes. Normally when we'll have a guest, it'll be like a nice little kind of hockey talk to lead us into the episode and get rolling with the guest. But yeah, I like that, and I think it's good. So I guess we're rolling right into that now, eh?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I want to say too, like, and it doesn't even have to be anything going on in the world. Like, there will be some hockey ones, but if there's anything worth talking about in the world, we'll definitely throw it in there. But and the one thing I did want to address too is, because I've said it a couple times on the podcast, we don't want to be a news podcast. So I'm kind of stressing, like, we're not breaking news, we're not like bringing out any news. It's just stuff that's already in the news headlines, and we'll just kind of give our take.
Yeah, since we're such hockey insiders.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can get into the first one now. I noted down on the first one, Connor Bedard makes Canada World Junior team. Only Gretzky, Lindros, Spezza, Bouwmeester, Crosby, and McDavid have played for Canada at 16. So some big company that he's in with now. You wanna give your take?
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I think it was one that kind of had to happen for Canada, with all the hype surrounding Bedard for next year's draft, and Wright was obviously going to make the team this year, as he'll be first overall this year. So to have those guys on the team, they're going to be wearing cages, obviously. So that's a little funny, but no, I think he's deserving, right? Every time he's been at Team Canada, he's put on a show. Everyone saw him in Texas at the U18s this year on Clarkie's team when they won gold there, and he was a rock star there. He played unbelievable every night. So I think, by way of how Hockey Canada works, I think it's by reputation and how you've done in the past with them and stuff. So he's obviously a superstar talent and was bound to make the team, even though like he's had a little bit of a slow start in the WHL this year compared to.
Yeah, I was gonna say still a good start, but compared to last year, yeah.
Yeah, bro, he had 28 points in 15 games as a 15-year-old in the WHL. So obviously, but like honestly, man, like I feel like Hockey Canada too. Like they know he did that at 15. They know he can do it now. So like it's not necessarily like they're not looking for like is he putting up the numbers. I feel like they're just looking for like can he play the Hockey Canada style game that we've seen him do at the U18s and previous tournaments. Can he do that at the World Junior level? And obviously he can and he will. We're gonna see that. So what do you
sorry, finish your thought.
No, what do you think?
Well, just at camp, he made it like I feel like he wasn't a lock going in, but in the 2 games against the U Sport team and stuff, I think he led Canada's camp in points in the 2 games. So he kind of showed I'm the best player at camp right now based on those 2 games, just in terms of putting up numbers. Now I don't know much in terms of his play away from the puck. I just saw that he got like 5 points in 2 games or whatever, which you can't deny the numbers. So I think he was a question mark going in, but it was those games at camp that really made him a lock for the team. So I think he'll be a good player, man, just based off how nasty he was in the camp. I think he'll be dominant against the best juniors in the world.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, like those guys in the U Sports team, some of them are like 24 and stuff. So
yeah,
he was playing against like bigger men than he will at the World Juniors. And I feel like it'll all depend on where he's slotted in the lineup too. Mm-hmm. If he's going to play the 4th line, no minutes role. But you know what? Canada always maybe if he's that 13th forward, Canada always seems to have some magic, like Tomasino last year and guys like that in the past. Barzal, I think, might have done it. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's always a hero. So we'll have to see where he slots in the lineup and kind of go from there. But we'll get more into depth in the World Juniors as they progress.
Yeah. So either way, whether he plays, whether he doesn't a lot, like whatever, it's nasty that he's on that list with those guys. So that's pretty exciting for him and for Canada. Now, on the topic of international hockey, our next headline here, COVID seriously threatening NHL players going to the Olympics. Now, we've already seen in the NHL right now, just lots of players going into the COVID protocol, a lot of games being postponed. Now, even with the rules, so for some background for the listeners who don't know, there's rules in place where if you test positive in the Olympic bubble there, then you might have to stay in China for 3 to 5 weeks before you can even return in isolation, before you can even return back to North America. So that's kind of deterring a lot of players from even wanting to go. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the NHL is going to end up going? Do you think it's not going to happen? What do you think?
Yeah, man, like I'm a big Twitter guy. I assume you are too. It's kind of where I get most of my news and stuff. And I've seen some big names like tweeting like sports could be coming to a close here, like things could be shutting down. And obviously, like we're all seeing it unfold right now in the world. Like it's not looking great, but I don't personally, I don't think the NHL is going to go. And I don't know if how many players would go anyway. Like I just don't know. Like it's hard to put that much at risk, like 5 weeks away from your NHL club, kind of like getting ready. Like that's towards the end of the season. No, like at least it's past midway that they'll be going there. Right.
Yeah. I mean, February. So yeah.
So I just feel like it just doesn't make enough sense for them to go this year. And then with COVID and everything and them going so far, and then that potential 5 weeks, like imagine an NHL player coming back into like the key time of the season off a 5-week quarantine in a hotel room in a different country. Like yeah. I don't see how he could translate his game and pick it up that quickly. Like, what do you think?
I agree with everything you said. I mean, if you're stuck in a hotel room for that long, you're not hitting the ice, you're not doing anything. Maybe you get the bike. Like, I don't know. It's going to be tough to get back into that game speed at that point in the season. And the other thing is what you said is I agree that I don't think the NHL players are going to go. I mean, you already saw Robin Leonard tweeted publicly saying he's not going to go. He doesn't think it's good for his mental health if he ends up stuck there. And he's making the decision to stay, take the Olympic break and just, do whatever and get back to hockey after the break and keep going. As well, I just think that I've heard a lot of players are saying they don't want to go. And it's a matter of, I think the NHLPA might come together completely and say we're not going. And in which case I've seen also all over Twitter that former guest of the pod, Phil Maillet, will make that Olympic team if the NHL players don't go, which is kind of cool because we can get him back on. Anyway, a lot of uncertainty there. We'll I guess keep everyone informed on our takes on how that develops. Another one kind of just came down the last couple of days, but Ben Bishop's NHL career is over because of a knee injury. He hasn't played in a while. 35 years old, 11 NHL seasons, and the big 6'7" goalie is retiring. So he had today the retirement kind of press conference with his family there. The teammates came out, take pictures with him and stuff. So, he's a guy who he's just a beast. He was nasty in the NHL. He was sick with Tampa, obviously with Dallas most recently. It sucks, man. He was fighting for so long to get back to playing, and it's just not working out for him. And I guess it's one of those things, like hockey's a game where you rarely get to ever go out on your own terms, So good career though, 11 seasons, man, no joke. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, like you said, he was a great player his whole career. And it kind of like takes me, like, it reminds me like basketball guys, like they're huge, obviously even bigger than him. And it's a lot of times knee problems for them. So for him going up and down at a 6'7" frame for 11 years, or 11 plus whatever, 18 years before that he was playing, probably. So almost 30 years, we'll call it, of going up and down in your crease, sliding post to post, and then training every day on top of that. You're going to wear out, and such a big body too. There's a lot of weight to carry on those knees. And so, yeah, over time they're going to get beat up. But yeah, he had a unbelievable career, and definitely a goalie that the people will look back at and down the road and say, yeah, he was a legit tender in the league for sure.
Yeah. So side question, what are your thoughts on big goalies? Now, I know there was a trend, like we got to get the biggest goalie, that sort of stuff. And now it's kind of trending the other way. Just the best goalie, doesn't matter the size. What do you think, having shot on and played against so many different goalies? Where do you stand on that kind of debate?
Bigger goalie is like less appealing for a shooter to look at. Obviously, you don't see as much net. It really depends, though. Like you can get a big guy who can be slower sometimes, or you can get these incredible athletic ones that can move all over. So I think as a shooter, you'd rather look at a smaller goalie. You want to see as much of the net as you can when you're trying to pick a shot. Obviously, every goalie has their different talents and stuff like that. But just solely going off of what I'd like to look at when I go down, I'm definitely more afraid if the guy is bigger rather than smaller, right? Just, I don't know. It's just a visual thing. Obviously, everyone has holes in them. You just got to find them. But to see more of them and kind of feel like you have more of an option makes you more comfortable.
Yep. Okay. Bigger goalie, bigger 5-hole usually too, though.
Yeah. You got to move them and then slip it 5 cheese.
Yeah. Now, next headline. Jason Spezza's 6-game suspension for kneeing Neil Pionk in the head. And he is appealing the suspension, but I'm sure you've seen the clip of this, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was coming. Obviously, Pionk kind of had it coming, right? But yeah, I don't even know, really. All I know is Spezza was having a hell of a year before this. So I feel like whenever he comes back, even after his suspension, I think he'll still be a rock star out there. It seems like he's getting better with age at this point right now. He had kind of few rough years, but now he's buzzing. I want to hear your take more on the suspension.
Yeah, I mean, I guess too, I think it'll get lower to 5 games with the appeal, but I think, yeah, he definitely deserves a suspension for that. But then my question is, you see Lemieux what did he get? 3 games for biting?
How many games did Lemieux get for biting?
What's worse, especially in COVID, biting or a knee to the head on, what wasn't even clearly unintentional? Like, yeah, he was trying to run him, but not trying to knee him in the head. Whereas the bite is an intentional bite, and it's in COVID. So that's kind of my thing, is how is that 3 games and then the knee is 6? That's my only question about it.
No, the bite was 5 games.
The bite was 5? Okay, my mistake. So, I mean, even still.
But still less. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think you can really bite in the NHL. I also don't think you can knee somebody in the face. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. But I do think you're right. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot of suspensions happening in our league right now too. So
well,
it's like, I
that's
don't know,
one I
maybe
also
it's the
wanted
time of
to.
year.
I wanted to get into that one, but in a minute. First, I just want to. We got to bring in the Manscaped ad this week, and we got a new one, Cards. So, hey,
All
fellas.
right.
This episode of Showbound is brought to you by our favorite producers of ball trimmers, Manscaped. The global leaders in below the waist grooming are leaving 2021 with the new product. Clean yourself into the new year with their ultra premium body wash. Also, special offer alert, use the code Showbound for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. 4 million men already trust Manscaped. Time to join them. And Cards, have you used the body wash yet? They've sent it to us.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We talked about it, I think,
Yeah,
in a previous episode.
it's good, eh? You smell good?
Yeah, I smell great every day. It smells like the cologne, but like it's all over your body, and like obviously a lesser version of like how it smells. But it's unbelievable, man. I love using it, and I love the bottle it's in too. It's like legit. It feels nice.
Yeah, it's pretty high end. Anyway,
Yeah.
2022 is on its way, and the last thing you want is to be the guy with pubes getting in your way of making this year your best yet. 2021 sucked, and that's why Manscaped is making a splash and upping your grooming game. Their signature Lawnmower 4.0 is here to take down every pube in its path. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their fourth generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. It's even waterproof. This tool is amazing, and I'm confident using the 4.0 to leave 2021 and my gross pubes with it. You know what else I'm confident about? Smelling like $1,000,000. You may be asking how, and I'm happy you did. I use the Manscaped Refined Cologne with the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formulas, a great complement to your collection. Let's talk about being clean, feeling, and smelling good. The new ultra premium body wash from Manscaped solves all three for the perfect addition to your daily grooming routine, but in the shower. I shower every day and hope you do too. This body wash is infused with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean, nice, and moisturized. With Manscaped, you'll be a brand new man and ready to kick all the gross hair and smells out with 2021. Use the code SHOWBOUND for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. I'm all in on confidence and smelling good this year. Join me with Manscaped. Once again, 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND at manscaped.com. Happy New Year to your balls. Let's really get the Manscaped sales going. Hey, everyone should be getting your new year going with Manscaped. Now, like I was kind of mid transitioning to before I read that, OHL suspensions you were talking about, and I did want to talk about this one. And I know as an OHL player for you, it's a little tougher. So if you don't want to talk about it, I can kind of take it on. But the Arbor Jacki, Kitchener Ranger, Montreal Canadiens prospect suspension for a gesture after a fight against Mark Woolley of Owen Sound. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, I saw the fight. It was like those are the two biggest heavyweights in the league. Like in my opinion, anyway. Like if you go watch a bunch of OHL games, I'd say they're definitely the two guys that you wouldn't fight in the league right now. So to see them kind of go toe to toe there, it was like a battle of a fight too. They were throwing haymakers the whole time, and I think obviously Jacki got the winning punch, but you know it was a really good fight.
Yeah, and then so for the listeners who don't know, after the fight, so Arbor Jacki kind of knocked him out really like quick knock to the ground, and then he did a sleeping gesture to the crowd, and then he was suspended. Do you know how many games? It was more than 5, I think, or was it 5? Either
I'm
way,
not too sure.
yeah, it
I
was like
know
a
he's
hefty suspension, right?
Yeah, I know he's making his return to the against Owen Sound too. Is his first game
Oh,
back?
okay, that's a setup.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, do you have a take on that suspension for that, or do you want to not?
No, I'll just keep my mouth and my words
Yeah.
out of that one.
Now, okay, I want to give my take. I know the OHL is trying to crack down on fighting, but I don't think that was suspendable. I mean, you maybe not for that long. You celebrate after a fight. That's essentially what it was. He celebrated after the fight, and yeah, it was maybe like in bad taste because it was like a bit of a knockout punch. But at the same time, if fighting's allowed, then that's allowed until you like take fighting out of the rules. how is that suspendable? In my opinion, it's allowed in the game right now.
Mm-hmm. I wonder too. What do you think? Do you think there's any chance that they gas fighting in the OHL?
I think it's coming at some point. I don't think it'll be this or next year, but I think it's definitely going that way. Or it gets the next kind of step towards that is everybody gets one fight. You know, people might not know this. You have 3 fights until you're suspended in the O, but I think it might be changed at some point to you get 1, and then everything after is a suspension. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I could see that too. Another thing that I talk about too, I could see the OHL going to cages maybe potentially or something like that in a few years, just for like insurance reasons.
Really?
I don't know,
I
man.
guess they do it in the NCAA.
I could definitely see that happening. Like, it's like, especially, I thought it might have happened this year, honestly, with COVID. Just like less like kind of projecting. And there was talks of like, there was a bunch of rumors going around last year. If the OHL was going to happen, we'd have to wear like fish bowls and stuff to kind of keep our air and our spit inside our own helmets rather than getting on everyone. But no, so I thought it was definitely a possibility this year. And I mean, why shouldn't everyone rock my style from the 18-19 season with the Spirit? I had to wear a fish bowl. So
yeah, I think it would be hard for the OHL. I guess it would probably be like a CHL thing. It would be hard for them to tell the players now, like, you have to wear a fishbowl or a cage in a permanent way. Like, if it's just COVID, I bet the players would be behind that. But after being able to wear the visor, it'll be hard. But I get what you're saying. Insurance-wise, in the NCAA, they do it.
you know, the OJHL only switched like 5 or 6 years ago, and it was grandfather rule. So like if you had the visor, you could still wear it until you were out of the league.
Yeah.
So
that's the way to do it then. Yeah.
A bunch of leagues have gone to it. Like a lot of the junior leagues in the world, like Junior A and Junior B, like I know the Goges cages, the OJ's cages. I think one of the I think the Noj though and the CCHL are both visors. But enough of that talk. Let's move on.
Yeah, it is interesting though. And then the other one I wanted to mention that the Barrie Colts, winners of 5 in a row, and goalie Matt Guzda, goalie of the week. So you want to talk about the Colts? The boys are absolutely rolling now.
Yeah, we're buzzing a little bit right now. We had 2 big wins kind of before our last 3. We had a big break because of the cancellations, as everyone knows, with Sudbury, but we took down number 10 in the country 2 weeks ago, Hamilton. And then to beat North Bay back to back, and they're 6th in the country right now, and they're first in the East. So helps us in the standings, keeps us rolling. I think we're just starting to play really good hockey, and like you said, Matt Guzda, he was stellar this weekend, and goes back to big goalies. I think having him back there is like really nice for us. He's a big goalie. It makes you really comfortable. He's really tough to score on in practice, so I can only imagine how the other teams feel in games. Although I did tear him apart every time I played him in my career, but we'll keep that aside. But no, he's an amazing goalie to have back there for us, and I think he's going to be rock solid for us all year. And from what we've seen, there's no doubt about that. And yeah, the boys are just looking to keep rolling here.
Can you give the listeners an insight into your own mind right now as the season's going, how you're doing, how your confidence is? I know you have high expectations for yourself, as you should. So do you want to talk about that, how it's going for you personally?
Yeah, it's been all right. Like, I mean, we had a tough start, our team wise, like how we were in the standing, like we were really low down. Like we have some games in hand now. We're like mid-pack. We have a ton of games in hand with points, like big points on the line that can really get us up there in the standings, is which we want. But for me personally, you know what, like obviously it hasn't been my greatest start, but like I feel like, and this is one for the younger listeners to kind of like listen to, and just you can't really dwell on it, right? You just have to kind of move forward and roll with the punches. So if you don't get the bounces, it's gonna flip. And like you see it with Matthews this year, he had like a slow start. Marner had a slow start, and they kind of picked it up as they went along. Same with Crosby. Crosby had a slow start. Now I think he's up to a point per game. So you just got to stick with what you do well, and just play the game the exact same way you normally would. Don't switch anything up. Don't try to do all these miraculous changes. But for me, yeah, like bounces maybe haven't gone my way. A few goals got called off. Couple posts, couple crossbars for sure that I'd like to have back. But no, the bigger thing is teams rolling. We're on 5-game win streak. So I'm just super excited about that. And I think as long as I take care of myself as a player and just be a pro off the ice, the production will pick up.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me into talking about mental confidence, the mental side of the game, where when you're struggling, when an athlete is struggling with their own play and confidence, you have to, like, you can talk about this, about it's similar to what you just said, not dwelling on, oh, like I'm goalless in my last 10. Like, when you're thinking like that, it holds you back. Can you talk about how you go into the game with the mindset of, you're forgetting about that, and how to control your mental game a little bit to keep you fresh and the best that you can be?
Yeah, like as much as you want to be like discouraged and stuff when maybe you're a point guy and you're not getting points, or you're a goalie letting in pucks, or you're a D-man getting minuses, like whatever you do best, you want to do best in your category. So for people mentally, when they're kind of battling that, it's more or less just yourself. Like you just have to be grateful for the opportunity you're getting to play hockey every day. I feel like professional athletes included, like any sport, you're doing what you love every day, and that's what you get to do. So to be worried about not getting a point last game seems a little bit kind of ridiculous for me. I've done it in the past. I've done it before. You have a bad game, you're going to worry about it or be mad at yourself. But I think the quicker you can forget about it and say, listen, I'm playing hockey tomorrow. I get to go to the rink and do it all over again. I have another opportunity at it. And that's how you're going to be successful. You just have to think forward. You have to think, okay, yeah, yesterday wasn't great, but today's going to be my best game ever. And I think if you go in with that confidence and that mental side of the game, everything will take care of itself, and you'll find yourself more consistently playing better games.
Yep. Well said. And anything, just as an OHL player, anything you want to talk about right now that's happening in the OHL before we kind of move into some fan questions, some predictions, that sort of stuff? Like, what's up in the some inside OHL stuff from Ethan Cardwell?
What's going on in the OHL? Not a heck of a lot. I think everyone's just trying to kind of stay safe and kind of get through to the Christmas break and situate everything out after that. I know the trade deadline's it comes up quick on you after the Christmas break. So I think there will be a lot more to talk about as we get towards that date. And there will be probably a lot of my buddies, as I know a lot of the guys in the league, moving around, and we can talk about all that. But for now, pretty quiet.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret Barry's, shaping up for a run, so it's pretty likely some guys are going to get moved. Is there any concern? I'm starting to hear a little bit more of this, that stuff's going to go down with COVID and mess up the rest of the season. Is there any talk of that or thoughts of that?
There hasn't been any worry or anything in the dressing room. We're following our protocols, just wearing our masks, kind of doing everything to the best of our abilities to keep it from coming to that. Obviously, we don't know what the provincial government is going to do, or our counties. So from me, I can't say what's going to happen. I have no idea. Do I want to keep the fans in the crowd and finish this season the way it's going so far? Absolutely. But at the same time, we need to keep everybody happy and healthy, especially around Christmas time right now. So to answer your question, more or less, there's no worry in our dressing room or anything like that, but we don't know anything. So,
yeah, I'm a little nervous the way things are going with the numbers right now and the Omicron variant. I'm nervous for the next couple months of how things are going to go down. So I have no clue. My mom's on me every day about not going out and not doing stuff. So I've been cooped up in the apartment. Yeah, I mean, we can move it into some fan questions here. Some extra fan questions that we didn't get to last week when we took them, and then we got some NHL and OHL predictions to get to. And first fan question, I thought this one was great. What's something you just hate paying for?
Gas.
Okay, that was one of the first things that came to my mind.
And I always tell my mom I want a Tesla, so I don't have to pay for gas.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while that Tesla's going to be my next car. Now, my answer to that was actually kind of all car stuff. Like oil changes, insurance. I don't know how much you pay for, but like, or like tire storage. When I get my tires changed, I have to store my winter tires or store my non-winter tires. All these little extra costs. I just can't stand it, man, because it's already so expensive just between buying the car and then the insurance and the gas. Now I'm paying $400 for an oil change. My windshield got cracked last week. Like all sorts of just nonsense,
Yeah,
man.
don't get me started because I got a hefty bill coming my way tomorrow. So
Yeah. Yeah. And even just remember a few weeks ago, I sent you that snap. My car got like towed. It wouldn't
towed.
work when I was in the middle of Haliburton, Ontario, and middle of the night. I was completely screwed. Um, anyway, so that I'd say that one. Anything else come to mind while we're on the topic? Stuff we hate paying for. Hmm. That's definitely the first one that kind of comes to mind.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that's just an easy one for me. That's the only thing I don't mind paying for other things. That one's just a kick in the
yeah, I agree. I mean, every time I see my credit card bill every month, I'm like, how is it so high? I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
think it's high for you too. Try filling up for $100 once a week. It's
Yeah,
tough.
your car eats gas. Eh?
Yeah.
Um, okay, moving on. We actually already answered this one earlier, but where do you get your news?
Twitter.
Yeah, same, honestly. Um,
That's it.
yeah. And this one's pretty funny. Best prank stories, maybe best prank you've pulled or best one you've heard.
Oh.
I can go first. I have one loaded up.
Yeah, if you got one in your head, fire away.
I had completely forgot about this one until this question came up. So back when I was in first year at Brock and I was living on campus there, there's a big gray tower called the Schwann Tower. It's where the library is, and it's named after Arthur Schwann, who like helped found Brock University, and he's passed away now a while ago. And there's these scary looking tunnels under the tower, like really creepy. The lights flicker. There's like secret entrances to even get in there. And I had convinced my friends who I lived on the same floor with that it was his tomb. Like Arthur Schwann's tomb was under the tower. Um, so I would take them down. Me and my roommate, we would take them down to the tunnels. I would go and lead them on like this tour through these scary. I got to show you these videos. Long, short, thin hallways, like long, short ceiling, thin hallways of just brick with the lights flickering. And my buddy would go and he would actually flick the lights on and off from the other side, and we would just scare everybody. And they all believed it that his tomb was there and stuff, and they'd be running out screaming stuff. So it's kind of like a harmless prank, not even a hockey prank, but that was a great one back in first year.
That is pretty good. That's greasy too by you, just scamming everyone there.
Yeah.
Just making them crap their pants. But I think for me, like I've seen so many pranks over the years. Some funny ones, some that are like kind of mean. Like I don't know. But like I think my biggest like I don't know. I always like the minor hockey pranks. Like when we were like kids and we'd be in like the hotel for a tournament and we I don't know. So one time like you always Nicky Dine doors, like random rooms at the hotel, and you're just running down the hallway as fast as you can. So we did a leaner. So we filled up a bucket of water and leaned it against the door, knocked on the door. We thought it was our buddy's room. And this is when we were like 12. So we were so scared. And we thought it'd be funny to like go just around the corner and watch his reaction. So we knock, run, hide behind the corner. Some massive man just pops out furious. And this was like kind of late at night. It might have been like 11, and pops out, just losing his mind, chases us down the hall, kind of chased us all around the hotel. So maybe not an ideal prank for people to pull unless they have their facts straight first, I guess.
Yeah, you got to know the room. That's a tough one. You're lucky you didn't get beat up.
Yeah, I'm sure the 50-year-old man might go easy on some 12-year-olds.
Yeah, imagine you just start wailing on the kids.
Yeah, we definitely would have been ridiculed from head to toe.
Oh, that's funny, man. I got in trouble once with just like the most what I thought was harmless when I was in Florida with my brother. I was like, I don't know, he must have been like 12 or 13. I was probably like 10. We were kids, and we just did this stupid like push all the buttons on the elevator, and there was no one in the elevator with us. But then when we get to one of the floors, a lady came in, so we just bolted out, knowing that like we had pushed all the things and screwed her over. And I guess she watched us run into like the condo we were at, so she ended up knocking on the door. And my brother and I were just hiding in the closet at that point, knowing it was kind of coming. And she was just screaming at like my mom, who was kind of covering for me a little bit. I mean, she didn't know what we did. Not that it was like that big of a deal. This place was like 7 floors, by the way. Anyway, but yeah, like, come on, we were kids. She was
Karen.
like, just let us, like, you really followed us to our place and started yelling at my mom. Anyway,
Yeah,
not even a prank.
bit
That was
absurd.
just stupid. Have you been in contact with San Jose at all this season?
Yeah. We talked throughout the year, just kind of talk about my game, how it's trending, what I need to do. But yeah, there's definitely talk between the player. I think any draftee kind of talks to their team and they kind of give feedback on how the play is going and what we need to work on to make it even better.
Actually, I have a funny going. It's not a prank, just one more to mention. This is hilarious. So, do you know Jerome Dupont? Did he ever coach you there?
No, but I know who I've heard of him.
Okay, so JD, he's our assistant coach at Brock now, and he used to play for the Leafs. And obviously, like we got to go into the Maple Leafs alumni lounge when the Gavin guys took us out to the game and stuff. So I come back in the room, like in the coach's room, and I'm talking all about our time in the alumni lounge, eating Harbor 60 steaks, all this. And JD had never been in the alumni lounge. Now, he had only played, I think, 80 games for the Leafs. He was with Chicago most of his career. And they said you had to play 100 games to get in the lounge. But if you play 80, like, and you come in the lounge, you're not going to say no. So anyway, so the next week he goes to the Leafs games and he goes in the alumni lounge or whatever. Now he's going like every week to the games and going in the alumni lounge.
He's not.
All the time. And he comes back and he's like telling the guys and whoever's in our coaching room at the time, like what the food was like, what they, going in the lounge, like this guy was there. I ate this roast beef and all that. I'm like, oh, I know about that, JD. Like I'm in there. I was like, I was in there before you. Like I always riff him like, oh yeah, like I know what it's like in there. You don't have to tell me. And he gets mad because he earned it, right? Like this guy made it to the NHL and earned it. And I just went in with the Gavin guys. So I'm always kind of busting him about that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I had Harbor 60 steak in there before you even went inside. Like,
just throw it in his face.
So that's funny. He's a good guy, but it's funny because like obviously that would piss him off. He actually like earned the right to be in there, and I didn't.
You just strolled in because we have a podcast and we just talk nonsense for an hour and we got us in.
Yeah, so that's classic. Who will win the World Juniors? This is a tough one, but you go first.
Canada.
Yeah, you gotta say Canada. Now the thing is, the USA roster looks unreal. I looked at it today.
No.
And I hate to admit it. It looks so good.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Not compared to Canada. I don't think USA's, I don't know if they have it this year. Like, I don't know if they, I'm going to say, I'll just give my predictions right now. I'm going to say Canada wins. I'm not even sure how it works. Let's just make our predictions like the week before because I want to know how the brackets are going to work for crossover games and stuff. So I don't want to make a fool of myself right now, but we'll do that the week before. But yeah, Canada, you have Canada obviously too.
Yeah, I'm saying Canada wins. Cole Perfetti, 15 points.
I was good. I said 14. If they play 7 games, 14. I like 15 too. I think he's over 2 points a game.
Yep. Okay. All right, some NHL predictions, and then we'll get some OHL predictions, and we'll wrap it up. But what will the Stanley Cup final be and the winner?
Oh, well, let's hear yours. I know you've been thinking about it all day.
I mean, I keep flip-flopping on this, but I think now I
Florida
know Colorado.
Avalanche.
What was that?
Florida Avalanche.
Okay, I was gonna say Colorado too, but I'm not saying Florida. Now it's funny because Colorado's not off to the start, I guess, that they had wanted, but I do think, especially with their recent playoff experience, I think they definitely have what it takes. I think Colorado and Washington.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna say like Washington's on a tear. No one's stopping Ovechkin.
How good does he look?
He's literally like a fine wine, eh? Just getting better with age.
Legit.
So I think Colorado, Washington, and Colorado wins. Who do you think wins?
Florida. Tippy. It's gonna be a cup champ this summer.
Okay, I would love that. That'd be good. But yeah, I think it's Colorado's time. I really wanted to say the Leafs when I was thinking about this, and I still do. Like, I know I couldn't say it on the pod, but on the inside, Beliefs.
Yeah, on the inside, you're hoping for it. Actually, too, I want to give Newhook some love too. He's been playing unbelievable lately, scoring all the time. So if that's the cup final, maybe we'll have to get both of the boys on at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, that would be crazy. That would actually do massive numbers if we had both in like one episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, maybe we orchestrate that a little bit. All right, next up we got who will finish the season with the most goals?
Ovechkin. I think he has like the stamina outlast Draisaitl, McDavid, those guys. Who do you think?
I think, and not surprising coming from me, I think Austin Matthews. I think you're laughing, but man, he's scoring like a goal a game now.
Sometimes yeah, you're right. I think it's between those four: McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews, and Ovi. But I'm gonna say Ovi. I think he wants it so bad right now. Like every goal he scores, it seems like he's that much closer. So I think he's so hungry. I think he'll keep scoring.
I would love it to be Ovi, if I'm being honest. Like, I'd love to see it. I am rooting for him to break the record, no doubt. So that would be nasty. And that's what he's playing for, man. Like, obviously he wants to win a cup, but he's playing for that record. And he's not retiring until he gets it.
No, I think he'll get it.
Yeah. Who's going to finish with the most points then?
In the regular season or
regular season player most points.
Oh, player McDavid.
Player. Okay, McDavid. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna say Draisaitl.
All right.
Yeah, either those two are nasty, man.
Yeah.
Who will miss playoffs? Who was supposed to make it?
I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I'll skip this one. You pick one.
Yeah, I already thought about it. I was saying Philly. I think going into the season, everyone kind of thought Philly was going to make the playoffs, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's one, I don't even know really, because, I don't know who's supposed to make it, who's not supposed to. I know Vegas is struggling right now, but, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they're on the edge right now. I don't even know if they're in a playoff spot. They might be in the last one.
No, yeah, they haven't started too well, but I think I think they'll make it, so I don't think it's an issue right now, but I'll see Seattle.
Seattle, my favorite team, man.
I know.
And then on the opposite end of that question, who will make the playoffs? Who wasn't supposed to make it? You could say Seattle.
Seattle. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I feel like the Sharks are going to be a team who's on the bubble. Obviously, I'm rooting for them to make the playoffs, and I think they will. They have such a good team. Their Timo Meier is playing unbelievable this year too. So they play structured, good hockey, not very high scoring games. So I think they'll make it. I'm not sure if people had them penciled to make it or not, but
I don't think people did.
No, I think they're a team that will for sure.
Them, LA as well. Both those teams have been looking good compared to what they should be.
Too.
California's buzzing.
Yeah.
I was thinking Detroit. They've kind of been written off they're in this long rebuild, but man, with the guys they've picked up Raymond and Sider, who have just been nasty, young guys who can step in and dominate.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but if they did at this point, I wouldn't be surprised, and I think a lot of people would be. So they're a team that isn't expected to, and I think they might just slip in.
Yeah, I think
San Jose is a good pick, and even though obviously you're a little biased, it actually is a good pick. I was thinking San Jose too.
Yeah, San Jose, and then obviously Anaheim too. I imagine the Canucks make it too. They're on a heater right now with Boudreaux.
Yeah, Canucks complete culture change, and within a few days, and now they're turning it around, and Demko's lighting it up. So, if they manage to somehow make the playoffs, that'd be kind of crazy. St. Louis from a few years ago when they came from last place in January to win the Stanley Cup. It's been done before.
Yeah.
So yeah, change our prediction for the Stanley Cup to Vancouver now. Okay, some mid-season OHL predictions. Same kind of questions. OHL final and winner. Now this one you pretty much have to say Barry.
Colts beat Knights in the final.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Knights are gonna be in there, and maybe it's hard to not say Kingston, right?
What, you don't think the Colts are gonna do it? Are you insane?
The Colts are obviously my favorite team in the league. I would love to see the moves at the deadline. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts won with the way your team is structured.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know. I feel like we're winning games like playoff style. Like if you watch those North Bay games from this week, they were like hard-nosed hockey. And I think especially like going back to Goose, having him, it's like a key piece to like kind of shut it down when we're like playing those tight games.
Okay, here's a question, and not that you'll have the answer for this, but OHL Live, the streaming service to watch OHL games, is it still called OHL Live, by the way?
Yeah, I think so.
It costs money to watch OHL games online. My question is it better for the OHL if the games are free? You can watch the games for free. Now you'll have more people watching them because they're free. And with more people watching, you actually make the money back from ads. You just run ads. Like the OHL can run their league-wide ads on it. It's free. They make their money off of ads. And now they're growing the game because many people who wouldn't watch the OHL because they don't want to pay for it would now be watching the OHL. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I would. Anything that makes more people watch our games, I appreciate and love. So maybe we'll have to get you a job at the offices in the OHL, and you can make that happen. But
I think it'd be good, and they wouldn't lose money. Like you'd make the same amount of money just off running ads. I think they would, or close, but you'd be growing the game, and then the ads are worth more anyway because there's more eyes on it.
Well, it's crazy too, though. Like the NHL charges too, like NHL Live, AHL Live. Everyone's doing it, so I feel like it would be a bit like out of pocket for them to kind of go off on their own and do their own thing. But
then is it a competitive advantage? Now you're the only one that's offering it for free, and everyone's watching you.
Well, it's a good thing we're not working for the marketing team at the OHL, right?
Yeah. Anyway, that one just popped in my head. Yeah. I mean, you know me. I love Marty. I love all the guys in the Colts that I got to meet. It's my favorite organization in the league right now. Like, I love them. So I would love the Colts to win. It would be sick to get a championship there in Barrie. But London's nasty. Like,
London's good.
And you know London's gonna bulk up at the deadline. Like, so we'll see. Anyway, who's gonna finish the OHL season with the most goals?
I'll let you do all these.
Probably Ethan Cardwell. Good second half coming. I think maybe Evangelista. I mean, he's missing some time with the World Juniors, but
no,
he
didn't make it.
He didn't make the team?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
How did he not make the team? He's so good. Okay, then I'm sticking with Evangelista.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good pick. I agree with you. Like he's a good shooter. He plays a good 200-foot game. He's a good player overall.
And who finishes with the most points?
Maybe Cozy.
That's what I was thinking, man.
Yeah, that's another Showbound bump, eh?
Showbound alum.
Yeah, signed with the Sharks. So
I don't know if you saw too, but today Riley Damiani and Title Andrea got called up to the Dallas Stars, 2 Showbound alum as well.
Yeah, I was pumped when I saw that. I was in the car. I was like, oh, perfect. 2 Showbound alum making the NHL jump, and that'll be Dammer's first games. So congrats.
Yeah. We should get them back on, some Dallas boys. Okay, and then the last OHL prediction question: who will go on an unexpected run?
The OHL is like the most unpredictable league in that sense, man, because you never know. Like it's like half the teams go for it and like half the teams just sell. So it's hard to it's so hard to make that prediction. I think Mississauga is a good team under the radar. I don't know if they're gonna go for it or not, whatever. But they're a team who's been winning a lot and a team who plays like a good low scoring hockey game. That's too much of a. I think we should regroup these questions after the deadline. Maybe I could give you a better answer.
Yeah, we'll definitely get back to it at the deadline. I had Mississauga written down, so I'm sticking with Mississauga. I agree. I've seen them play a few games this year already. I've seen them pump the Ice Dogs a couple times, like 8-1. They can play, man. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of it for OHL stuff, NHL. Anything else we want to talk about right now? I don't want to.
No.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think we've been talking for too long, so I'm gonna take it and exit it if that's okay with you.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I guess everyone's kind of sick of hearing our voices by now, so I'd just like to say have a great week and we'll see you back here next time.